It's 5 o'clock.
No, it's not 5.
Welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk with the Morel Brothers. I am one of your hosts, Craig Morel.
You know what? From now on, everybody can just call me King.
All right, King. We have Don.
Timon. What's up, King?
Well, welcome back to the show. We took a hiatus last week. Uh, you know, all work and no play
Makes
makes
King a dull boy.
so.
And Jack, too.
We have to take a rest every once in a while, guys, and let and let our minds and bodies recuperate. Um, we want to say thank you to all those of you who supports us. Those of you in Grenada, thank you very much. Um, Trinidad as well, and for all the support here in the United States and wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your continued support.
Right on, right on.
We are not successful without you. You are the reason why we are successful. Uh, thank God for His glory. Without Him, none of this is possible.
Go follow us on Instagram. Let's talk with the Morel Brothers. Follow us on YouTube. Let's talk with the Morel Brothers. Send us something, whatever you want to talk about. Send us something to talk about. We'll talk about it. We'll call you out. We'll shout you out. Like, subscribe, share.
Comments, please. Um, your comments are very important to us. We want to know what you think. We want to become better. That is our goal. Our goal is to become the best version of us. And your opinions do matter.
Because
Every
they say-
voice needs to be heard.
yeah, because a conversation can go one way, a conversation go both ways. So we need a conversation also.
Oh gosh.
That's some good apple
So
juice.
today, what are we talking about today, guys? Simone, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about moral compass, um, because I think there's a lot of things that's going on today in society, and I think that let's I think we lie about moral compass. Just to be straight, I think that we choose what to defend and then what
To overlook.
to overlook and let by, uh, because it's good for our brand. If that makes sense. And when I say brand, I mean no matter how you look at it. Uh,
That's what
if
you
it's
subscribe to.
if it's yeah, what you say, that's a good.
That's what
Yeah.
you subscribe
What's
to.
if it's good for what I believe, then it's okay. And if it's bad, then I'll say, oh, this is atrocious. I have to defend this because this is wrong. But then
Selective.
Absolutely.
I
That's
think that
beautiful.
yes, selective outreach. I think we are at the point where we let some things go because it doesn't affect what we live in, and then some things we're outraged, as Don said, because that's what we believe in. I think I've been my spirit. I think because as a man you have a mind, a body, and a spirit. My spirit has been at war uh about morality uh, in this last few weeks, where um I'm looking at all the different things that's going on, and selectively we're something we're outraged about and something we just let go. uh I don't want to be political, and I don't want to be religious or biblical or whatever you call it. But right is right and wrong is wrong, because as a child growing up, when something is wrong, you know it's wrong. And when something is right, you know it's right. And if something is right, I think you should stand for what's right, regardless to what you believe in. If it's right, it's right. And if it's wrong, also, you should be able to say, I am not for that because it's wrong. And I've been wrestling with that because I keep seeing people choosing sides or when to be moral and when not to be moral. And I think I'm from, and we always shout out, oh, Ireland when we start, and we always shout out Trinidad when we start. And of course, we love the United States because that's who we live. But leaving the United States, I think we are at the point where we choose sides. We become so tribal that when something is wrong and it's not what our tribe believe, we just say, not we just say, we turn a blind eye. Be like, I don't see it. And I think that's been in my life. Now I've been wrestling with that because as a like your spiritual really wrestles with things like that. And so I was telling my brothers because I think I brought it up to all of them on different occasions in the last 2 weeks. Like, man, we're rotten in America with our moral compass. We have no moral compass anymore. Uh, and that's why I want to discuss it.
All right. So thank you for that, Timon. At this point, I'm gonna to give the definition of what a moral compass is. It says it's a set of beliefs or values that help guide ethical decisions, judgments, and behaviors and internal sense of right and wrong. That's what a moral compass is. So now that we have the definition of a moral compass, we need to sit back and think about what our core values are and and what guides us to the ethical decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis, right? We got to sit back and think about how we behave as people too, what our behaviors are, right? Because the decisions we make in our heads is what's gonna guide our external behaviors, right? That's facts.
I could agree with that, and that's what I wrestle with. I think I wrestle with that because, um, as you say, our ethical behavior and what guides us. I think it guides us, but then we become hypocrites, and I use that word because we have selective moral compasses now. That's how I feel about this country right now. I feel like we have selective moral compass where we look at some things and we're like, oh, that's okay. And then we look at some things and we're like, and like I said again, we became so tribal. And that's dangerous. Being tribal is dangerous because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all strive for equality and all those things. But then when we become tribal, we have to choose a side. And once you're choosing a side, we're no longer equal.
That is true.
You see what I'm saying? And that's I've been wrestling with that. It's like I go to bed sometimes and I wake up and I'm like, man, what? Can't sleep because I'm thinking about it. Um, my wife tell me all the time, you watch too much news. But I think
Get you some snooze, snoo, you be able to go to sleep.
that's too. But I think you have to be informed. But when you become informed, you also have to take what you heard or take what you read and then analyze it and then come to your own hypothesis, you know?
Mhm.
And when you come to there, then you can make a decision on how you feel. But I think we've been feed so much things like we don't do that anymore. We just go with what people
Whatever
say.
people tell you.
Like I think the internet is one of the best things that ever happened to humanity and one
It's
of the
also
worst
one of the
things
worst.
that happened to humanity because he gave everybody a voice. And then he gave not only that, but he also gave human beings a chance where they don't have to think and make their own decisions, where they no longer analyze things. They said, well, such and such say this, so I'm just on this path.
So human beings are sheep, right? So uh,
I don't want to dominate this conversation today. I want you guys' opinion because
Well, for me personally, you say moral compass. Is it's about secrets, right? Because everybody want to project, right? Everybody want to be something, right? So to me, uh, the issue is everybody want to be something that they not really are, and they hide it, right? So they put out in public that I'm this person, I'm that person, I'm really this way, but behind closed doors they do something completely different, right? So, and I think that's what's going on, in society now, and at the workplace, in some people homes, people just not real anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is
Everybody,
real?
everybody want to project something.
okay, so and I'm glad you said it because
That's a good
that
one. What's
the
real?
question of what's real. Real is whatever you decide. And when I say that, um, that you're following in your journey. Um, the definition could be different for different people.
So that just opens it up for me to look at you based off of that definition to say you're fake
No,
because I don't subscribe with your definition of real. I could look from the outside and be like you being fake.
no,
So-
because you know why I disagree? Because if I am my true self,
that's what
But
real
how
is.
do I
So-
know
so
that
that-
that's your true self?
So
or not?
that's the point I was gonna make.
you know how
So-
you know? Because every time you meet me, I will be the exact same thing.
Consistency.
And
I'll be
that's
consistent.
and that's being real. Being real is being who you really are, right? On the inside. Because whatsoever a man speaks, that's what he is, right? Because what a man that comes out of his mouth, that's who he is on the inside. Because you can't really hide that, and that's why you have
We
to.
can't.
That's why you have to listen to what people say when they're talking, because who they really are is going to come out in the words that they speak.
Yes.
So that's how you know who the real person is, and if that person is not living what they speak, then you know that person is fake, right?
That's true because like you've known me for over 30 years. I am the same me from the time you met me. I don't change. When I say I don't change, I don't say I don't grow. But I am what I am. There's no you don't have to second guess like I wonder what Timon will do. You know exactly what Timon will do.
And that is true. That is true.
Like I told you, remember our earlier conversation? I said, if somebody's gonna do something wrong, tell them hide it from me.
I'm
'Cause if they don't hide it, I'm telling.
I'm telling.
Because if I care about you, I'm not gonna leave you in the dark to find out somewhere. I'm telling.
All right.
Call me what you want to call me. I'm telling.
Bitch.
That's okay. Ring, if I love you and I see somebody doing you wrong, I'm telling. But that's about the moral compass once again.
So in other words, the United States is in a state of not having a clear moral compass. There's things that's happening in the U.S. today that is just not right,
Yeah, because selective.
and people subscribe to what they want, and for a country or a family to have the same vision, they have to have a clear and concise moral compass, and that'll give them a vision of where they want to be, right? But if it's divided in two separate parts, then
Man, again, it's about secrets,
look.
bro. Y'all making my point for me. So by secret, we're talking about this country. What was this country built on? Christianity? Was it built on love?
The backs of colors.
I mean, I'm just saying
That
though.
too.
Think about it. Is it trying to? Aren't some faction of this country trying to hide that as far as what truly this country is about? Is it about secrets, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Here's what I think.
And they're projecting something completely different, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And that's what people do, bro.
As
That's why you always got to be true to
To
yourself.
yourself. Absolutely.
And stop bothering about everybody else and worry about yourself.
Stay
Be
in
true
your
to
lane.
yourself. Stay in your lane. The right people gonna come along. Right things are gonna happen to you. You're gonna make the right moves, and you're gonna find the success that you strive. So again, people out there, be true to yourself. That's what moral compass means to me. Here's to be true to yourself.
this is how I look at
That's
it.
it.
Like as a people, we want to be able to say we're better than, right? So we're always saying we're different from animals because we have the ability to discern what's right, what's wrong. If you look at the animal kingdom, there is no moral compass. It's survival of the fittest. I'ma come, I see you, I need to eat, I eat you, I take what I gotta get, I'm gone. People don't want to be looked at as animals. So we've come up with the idea of I know right and wrong, I can decide, I can say this and that, but it's at the end of the day, it's survival of the fittest because you're gonna always do what's best for you when you're in a situation, regardless of who's around you.
That is true. But I still believe there is right and wrong. There's this it, internal to every person. Internal to every person. There's just a conscience, and some people don't have a conscience. Some people don't have it.
Oh, it's there.
Right?
You just don't pay attention.
It's something that can be turned on.
They just turn us off. Like everybody know what's right and what's wrong. But some people
Yeah.
choose to ignore it, right? You ignore the fact that you're not supposed to go out and break into somebody's car. You know that's wrong. But you do it anyway. Right? There is a sense of right and wrong in every person.
And in the beginning of a conversation, that's exactly what I'm talking about. As a child, we knew that. We know when something feels right and when something feels wrong.
But are we going by feeling or
But
by,
no.
or by actually logically
Yeah, but-
thinking about
no, but
the decisions you're
Just-
making
We're talking about
Right?
as a child.
as a child? Okay,
Yeah.
feelings.
And as we get older, we know because logically thinking, you know this is wrong, you know this is right. And I think, you said it earlier, we live in a country with a lot of sheep now. Well, we let other people make that decision for us, what is right and what is wrong. And we justify it by what they say because we're sheep. Because we're being led. And because of that, I think we've lost our moral compass. Because the thing about having a moral compass is when something is right,
You stand up for it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
you stand for it. If you're walking down the street and you see somebody taking advantage of another person, as a human being, you'll be like, that is not right. Human beings are wired that way. You'll be like, that's not right.
Yeah, but
And some of us will stand up and be like, "Hey, that's not right." And some of us will cower because that's nature. Because back to what Reen was talking about earlier about nature and nurture, because that's exactly what we're talking about the animals.
Survival of the fittest.
Some of us will be like,
it's
I'm
that-
none of my
that- that is
business,
not my business.
so I ain't gonna say nothing. But your moral, you look at it, and even though you don't say anything, when you walk away in your head, you'll be like, that shit was wrong.
Okay, so
Am I
I'm
lying?
gonna pose this question:
Straight up,
if
straight up.
you're walking down the street and you see a man beating his wife, would you
I-
step? Would you step in?
No.
Or would you say, "Man, I don't know what she did for her husband to beat her like that. I'm gonna leave that alone."
No.
What I mean,
I'm gonna call the laws.
No.
I'm gonna call laws and I'm
yeah.
gonna stay out of it because
Back like it's a story.
there are situations you try to step in and they both turn on you. You
Yes.
don't know what that situation
Absolutely.
is.
So
So
that's
for me, the best course of action to be able to help and say I did my part is to call the police and let them come handle it.
Listen,
Oh man.
we had the exact situation you're talking about, where I saw a couple in a dispute, and one of them looked at me and said, "Help me," and I said, "You need to call the police." I am not the right person. I did. I called the police.
Well,
That's what you need to
You're
do.
only 115 pounds. So.
It have nothing to do with my weight. Have nothing to do with my weight. Some situations you don't get involved in, but
You got to pick and choose your battles.
absolutely. But that doesn't.
All I gotta say is that's not I'm
Yeah, because
What Star
but
you say?
but
Cowards live to fight another day.
Yeah,
But
I'm about to-
morally,
I'm about to-
I did the right thing.
I'm about to
Because
see
I
what-
told her.
that's my fact.
I-
That's my bad.
Because not every time you have to step into a situation. Yeah, because sometimes you have to let them fight. You can win. Sometimes you have to win the battle, and don't lose the war.
Right, you got to lose the battle so you can win the war.
Yeah, so sometimes you have to leave people be. There's some situations you have to leave alone. If I see two brothers fighting, that's not my business. That's a family business.
But shouldn't your moral compass tell you, hey, you need they need to stop that?
Listen,
I mean, it does.
Ring. I'm gonna stop him right there.
But
I have 4 brothers and a sister, and I know if my brothers are fighting, leave them alone. 'Cause if you get in there, they're about to do something to you, and then talk about it afterwards. So sometimes moral compass. So that's where you have to have a discernment of when and where to take action. Now you could take the right action. You could take an action to do something different. No, but that goes back to ethics. You're right. Because you didn't do nothing, that doesn't mean you did
means
nothing
you're
wrong.
not ethical.
Yeah. So it goes both ways. But we're not talking about simple situations. We're talking about on a global scale. We're talking about we've lost a sense of morality. That's what we're talking about.
honestly, I think it goes back to kind of what you said with the internet thing. The internet has made us complacent.
Yes.
Because you have the ability to get so much information, and so many people are out here saying that they're experts, that you hear something, you're like, well, they know what they're talking about, let me just go ahead and go on with the get along. So I wouldn't necessarily say that we've lost our moral compass. I put it more as we've gotten so complacent that we're allowing someone else to try to think for us.
Well, Aaron, I'm gonna agree to disagree. I think we lost it. It's down the toilet.
I mean,
America
respectfully,
like they say,
Going to hell in a handbasket.
excuse my language.
That's terrible.
I think we're a shithole country.
Oh, that's terrible. I just think like going back to the internet and making my point again. I hate to be redundant, but everybody project on the internet, such as social media. Everybody shows
what they
have, what they want you to believe,
yeah, what they want you to see.
But secretly, deeper.
And that's a fact.
They live in paycheck to paycheck. Life is hard, and they're trying to figure out how to make it. But they're projecting something completely different and not being true to themselves.
I mean, shoot.
So again, the point about morality is being true to yourself, understanding who you are, find understanding, knowing where you're at in life, striving to be better every day. And if you strive to be better, you're automatically gonna do the right thing.
Can you blame people for that though? Growing up,
Absolutely, you can.
growing up, you're programmed with the sense of fake it till you make it.
But we got to get on program.
So kids from kindergarten to 12th grade here fake it till you make it for 8 hours a day. So can you blame people for projecting what they want if that's what they're hearing?
So what you're telling me right now is that America have a parental problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't want to go there, but that's what you're telling me.
I would definitely say yes.
Because
Parents don't parent nowadays.
Oh.
If you walk around, if you just go to the grocery store, you will see children doing whatever the hell they want, and the parents are just walking by almost as if they're oblivious to what's going on.
So
So
what my younger brother is telling me right now is that we lost a moral compass because you parents play in the ass.
true.
Absolutely.
So
I
situation.
100% stand on
So
that.
I had a situation. I had a situation where
Understand.
one of my daughters had an issue in school, and um, I literally took off work to go talk to the principal of the school, and within the conversation with the principal of the school, I told the principal, I was like, look, I understand that my daughter's going through this in school right now, and I just I can't allow the school to raise my kid. That's why I'm here. And within the same conversation, she's like, "Yeah, well, most parents they just come drop their kids off to school and they drive off, and no matter what happens in the school, that you never see a parent go to the school to actually interact with the people that are actually trying to educate their children." And you're right that this is a big problem that we have in the U.S. today. A lot of people they have kids, and I know things get busy, and you have to go to work, you have to
People
provide, you,
projecting,
you have to
telling
provide for your
stories,
kids,
not being
right?
true to
Right, you have
themselves.
to provide for your kids. You have to, and you drop off to school, and you're like, okay,
You
I
what I'm
got an
saying?
8 hour working day. They can go to school. I can do this and that and the other. But when something happens, you don't take the time
You don't
to
step up to the plate.
actually parent your children, and a lot of the moral compasses the moral compass get lost because you're not really teaching your kids what you learn as you were growing up because you're expecting the school to teach
It
it.
goes back to what Timon was saying about the internet. Again, a lot of parents nowadays give their child an iPad, whatever tablet they have, and that tablet is the parent. So whatever that child is on, the parents aren't paying attention to that. The tablet is raising the kid. Oh, my child is fussy. Here's a tablet. Go play.
And that's why America's going to hell in a handbasket because we don't
But
parent kids.
that's a topic for a
Whole nother day.
So
That's terrible.
let's so we're gonna table it. I guess table it.
Yeah, let's take it.
Let's do better. Let's have a moral compass. Let's stand for what's right and wrong, regardless to what our tribe say. Sometimes you have to go against your tribe to let them.
It's tough. It's tough to go against what's considered the norm.
Yeah.
But
It's
when
okay. It's
when
okay to be abnormal.
absolutely, if one person does it, you'll give courage to the next person, and then it's a domino effect. More people will say, "Hey, you know, if this person can stand up for this cause, I could stand up for what I believe is right also."
And another thing is, let's stop telling our kids they don't understand situations because they do.
More than you believe.
Yes. And be true to yourself is harder than telling the lie.
Go ahead, Freddie. You close this up.
All right, guys. Now that we're here, we want to say thank you for joining us today. Um, we want you guys to understand what our goal is here. Our goal is to become better. Our goal is to be better than we were yesterday. And the conversations that we have are to help each other grow. And we want to thank you for joining us. Um, we'll be back next week.
Communication is the key, but understanding is when you walk through the door.
Amen. So let's comment, let's like, let's share. Let
Subscribe
us
and hit the noti bell.
let us know what you think.
Yes, sir.
We are here. We will respond. And if you don't like us, that's okay too.
Yes.
Tell me that you don't like me. Tell me why you don't like me,
Yes.
and then we can have a conversation about that.
Because I have
And
no
it's
problem
okay.
with that.
It's okay. See you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Bless up.